Greetings. Greetings, my dear Fantasistas. Hope you're all doing well. And as you can see, I picked my winner of the Cologne, I guess. And I hope that I won't screw up with my choice because the Group B looks way more predictable than Group A. But Group A potentially has, I would say, more potential to get you unexpectedly good points because in that group there's so many teams can win, can lose, anything can happen in that group. So with that said, there are still few more games left, but I think both of these teams gonna face someone like FaZe or Navi. There's a Navi game and no FaZe playing Movistar. So yeah, Navi and who else? Who's left? Oh no, FaZe. Isn't FaZe supposed to face Movistar? Or does G2? Oh, okay. Alright, so yeah, especially. Especially now, yeah? So it's gonna be either one of those teams playing against FaZe and Navi. So that's kinda, first easy game for those teams. So if you're interested in the results of the play-in, I'm disappointed, but it could be worse. Config recovered from minus 30 points almost, and at the end of the day, top 11%, and technically there's still a chance to get into top 10% and get like extra 2 points, but I really doubt it. I really doubt it. So yeah, so let's see what we can expect, okay? Uh, So let's start with like the clear favorites, right? Clear favorite is probably FaZe, Cloud9, and maybe G2, but that just maybe, right? Let's look at this group, right? If we look at this side, there's Ants Vitality, which probably gonna be a banger. And if you still have faith in Vitality after they called so-called promising play in stage, well then just pick only one player, only Zaivu, and then just like fill with some players from like Vitality. No one else is worth. So fill in with like a couple of FaZe players, maybe just like Cloud9, anything to kind of balance it out because it might really work kind of as a surprise, but I don't see them going to straight final. They're probably going to drop to lower bracket, and I believe it's going to be G2 against ENCE after the first game. Then on this side, whoever's going to face Navi, they're just going to lose to Navi. NIP against Heroic. This will be a really insane game. I gonna love the game. It's gonna be 11 a.m. I will wake up just to see that game. I will wake up really, really early because I do like New Heroic. I'm kinda surprised with first kinda dropped map. When they dropped their own map, I was expecting 2-0, but still they won, so it doesn't really matter. And NIP, uh, I don't know. I'll be honest. In this group, I can't risk by picking any NIP player or someone like that. I still think Hero gonna beat them, and then NIP like Hero gonna play against Navi, and this is LAN event, right? This is LAN event. Like best case scenario, Navi wins, and then G2 beats ENCE, and then G2 plays Navi in a upper final, in which I really hope G2 comes on top, but if Alexei gonna play the way he plays right now, and Jax is kind of a weak link, then anything can happen, and probably it can potentially be easy way for Navi for the Apple final. It's probably the easiest way that we can predict, right? Tough games. Probably it's gonna be like someone like Movistar. Oh no, not sorry, not Movistar. Mouse, or there's a high chance it can be like Tyloo. If they're gonna face any of Brazilian teams, that's just like 3 points, right? 3 points here. Then against Heroic, most likely it's gonna be a banger, and current Heroic can potentially beat Navi, right? If with refresh, I believe they had chances, but now I would call them equal teams in terms of firepower. Tessus, Jabi, Stone, even Shush like putting some good numbers through, right? And KDN, well, he just can fall back and play the fallen style of early days when he had the cold zero affair. Everyone's like fragging for him. Okay, so with this side, I think we're done. I believe that Navi and G2 are gonna face each other in a final. And lower bracket, I'm not even gonna try to predict, but most likely NIP gonna beat the team they're gonna lose to Navi, and NIP gonna move over here. Then probably Vitality gonna play against Movistar, and Movistar already did more than I expected from them, and they can potentially have a rematch against Vitality. And this time, I believe Vitality gonna beat them. So yeah, so it's gonna be Vitality over there. Then Heroic probably gonna go for the lower final as well as maybe Ents, but for some reason I'm not really expecting much from Ents. They are preparing some stuff, but I think their peak is kind of over. They already achieved way more than majority of people expected from them. So now it's either they're gonna stay on that, on the level where they can time to time like beat like top one, top two team. But in general, I think that's it. So now the other side. FaZe is gonna beat whoever they're gonna face in the first game. Liquid gonna play Spirit, and despite having this, I believe that Spirit gonna stomp them. I believe the Spirit gonna stomp, and Yekenda is not gonna get way too much attention in terms of, I don't know, protection of Spirit carries to play anti-flash and like try to avoid the entries. I believe the Spirit just gonna wait for the entries, and they either gonna catch Nitro or Yekenda trying to get the entry kills. I believe Spirit just gonna play a really really slow game on T sides because they're gonna wait for the aggression. And CT side, CT side Spirit, oof, I believe they're gonna show us some interesting stuff. Then the win this game FaZe against Spirit, most likely, my opinion. And FaZe should take this one as well and go to the upper final. Then on the other side, Cloud9 against Outsiders. I really enjoyed watching Outsiders. It was fun. Some aggression from players like Lit and Fame. It's not really like a dumb push and just like try to get kills. No, they have actually some ideas how they approaching the early game. It's really interesting. But against Cloud9, I'm kind of all in on Cloud9. I believe that Cloud should be beating them. So Cloud9 over here. Then Fury against Astralis. Majority of people probably gonna hate me for this, but I believe Fury gonna beat Astralis. Furia had enough suffering, and this is the time for Furia to step up, right? If they don't step up, I don't know what changes Furia should expect. Potentially minus art, but in that case, who's gonna lead them? No, nobody knows. Nobody knows. And Astralis, they already achieved more than needed. they kind of got to the main event, so they didn't really fail that hard. Yes, they lost, but it is what it is. Now they play the main event. That's at least two more games, and let's be honest, in terms of first game against Furia, they have 50-50 chance, but I'm still gonna go for Furia, and then this game gonna be Cloud9 against Furia. Cloud9 should be beating them. I'm not gonna say 2-0, but there's a high chance it's gonna be 2-0, and in my opinion, that's 2-0. That's two. I want to say but have a chance for Liquid to take a map, but to be honest, I doubt that. They can put like a close map when they start on CT side, but second map just gonna be destroyed, destroyer. And Cloud9, I believe it's gonna be also 2-1. Then Furia against Astralis, that's the game where I'm most likely like even gonna bet that it's gonna be 2-1 for one of the teams. And then over here, Cloud9 against Furia, I want to say 2-0 for Cloud9, but something inside of me says it's not that easy. And FaZe is gonna beat Spirit, most likely 2-0 as well. I doubt that FaZe is gonna allow Spirit to play one of those maps that they have advantage on, right? Because if they're gonna pick Dust 2, well, FaZe are decent on Dust 2. If they're gonna pick Ancient, FaZe are decent on Ancient. Nuke, FaZe are really good on Nuke. Like FaZe is countering every single map, and for FaZe, there's no need to to put themselves at risk by picking like a map like Nuke or Ancient to let Spirit to play like CT side. So FaZe most likely gonna pick something like Inferno or maybe even Dust 2 themselves. Not gonna be surprised to see that. And yeah. So then Cloud9 gonna beat Furia and FaZe gonna play against Cloud9. And at this point, I still believe that FaZe gonna take this one. Then in losers bracket, let's say Liquid gonna face Mouse or any of Brazilian teams or Tyloo, whatever it's gonna be. They have a good chance to beat them. That's the actual W that I expect from them, right? Just like losers bracket first game. Then outsiders against Astralis. In current form, probably Astralis gonna lose, and then is gonna be the game where we're gonna see really slow pace, and after that, it's not really gonna be that hard to predict that the next team that's gonna be facing them over there is gonna be most likely outsiders. So outsiders, and I'll be honest, I expect FaZe, Cloud9, and I want to say Spirit, but most likely outsiders to advance, okay, to the next stage. So yeah, with that said, let's jump to my team. Or actually, let's check the result. How is it going? Mouse against Tyloo. Okay, Mouse winning, Imperial winning as well. Okay, interesting, interesting. So yeah, with that said, this is my team. I want to go for two decent players. They're gonna get points in games and they're not gonna tank, but they have a really decent perspective of kind of getting really good points. Let's say Twist in his previous games, he did show really good form. Hobbit, if we see his past games, he was actually really decent. Let's check his stats. Okay, let's not look at the big game because uh, uh, that was very bad. This game against Nizy also, but to be fair, um, Nafani told on the stream to his chat that whenever they were playing like last two games, they had big issues with the ping, right? They were playing on, I think, average and like 50 ping against everyone, but they had the ping spikes to like 120, and that was like the main reason why they lost against BIG, because they were like taking the trades with advantage. They kind of start shooting first, but then freeze, bullets not connecting, not registering, blah blah blah, and BIG were like playing on like 5-10 ping, right? So there's nothing much to do against 9Z. That's like one of a kind game, and he was just doing his job. So nothing much to say. Ooh. But yeah, in general, if we look at the previous games, like good results. Good results for Hobbit. Maybe not as like high high point potential, but um like there is a chance to get like two decent teams like playing against outsiders, and then like kind of getting tired, and then playing against Cloud9. Eh, there's a possibility for Cloud9 to actually like stomp, especially the second game, because playing against outsiders is always tough and always exhausting, and then you're gonna face Cloud9 that's gonna play in different styles, and yeah, there's quite interesting possibility of Hobbit like farming some good points. So yeah, I I believe that Kerrigan Kerrigan gonna do well. Kerrigan's gonna do really well. And in terms of G2, this is a gamble, right? But I expect two of Kovac brothers, two out of three Kovac brothers, to do really well. And at this point, Monacy and Hunter, they most consistent players. With Nico, Nico is the best player on G2, right? But for some reason, he isn't really showing that he's the best. He's gained the frags, blah blah blah, but Hunter is really consistent. Monacy is showing huge spikes of individual skill, and against team like Movistar, Monacy probably can win the game just by the skill gap. In terms of Hunter, he's very reliable, and I believe that this this can get me to like top 10% hopefully. These two picks. And on the side of FaZe, I'm not really sure, should I go for Kerrigan or should I swap Hobbit uh, for Rain and then get someone like Nafani or Inters. But I believe that mm, Hobbit can bring me more points than having Nafani or Inters and putting in a Rain, because FaZe look like they're gonna have quite easy journey to the upper final, and it's it's probably gonna be like twists and Robs fragging out most of the time. But at the same time, I would go for them if G2 were not really like playing purely on like free carries, right? Because when was the last time we saw um, Alexi or Jax playing really well? Jax had some decent sides, but in terms of like whole game where he 30 bombs, I don't think I've seen that in like 3 years or 4 years. So yeah, so I'm kind of predicting Kerrigan to go for his easy points. Maybe if you planning to play like two bronze players, then it's gonna be worth for you to pick Brokey plus Rain or Brokey plus Twists, because that combo can really work well, and then you just get the filler in. Probably even someone like Bit, because like look, let me edit lineup. Okay, let's try to build up another team. Let's say Brocky and Twist. Then, if I believe that Navi can be potentially like the second best team, then 190, and we're gonna have 173k left, which means we can try to gamble on Alexei, which is potential. Nitro, no point. VG, also no point. All right, so with this team, you do have a chance of like picking Alexei and hoping that he's not gonna tank. But in general, if all of them play really really well, you're gonna get also really good points. In terms of going for simple, 244k, it's gonna be really hard to balance your team. Let's say Rain and Kerrigan. Then who can you get? Like SDY, and then you have like 194k left, and then you can just chuck in someone like Nafani potentially for some points. And if you're really lucky, you can get Perfecto. Anyway, it's like there are some options that you can go for with like double carries and hopefully, expect one of the bronze players to kind of pop off. If we're talking about getting Shiro plus Nafani, let's say, then someone to fill in like from over here, then Bit, and then we have left 160k. Quite poor. If we go this way, then we still can get Kerrigan, and still not much gonna change, right? But in general, I would avoid like going for simple if you want to get some decent points. Going for Bit is worth it. Bit SDI, great choice. Twist plus Rops, also decent. But Twist plus where is he? Monacy, really good point. And as a last player, you can always get like Nafani, and potentially like every single player has the potential of fragging out. Like Monacy can 30 bomb easily, Twist can get 30 bomb, Bit headshot machine no problem can 30 bomb. Nafani, let's say in the certain games on certain maps like Overpass, he's playing really really well. He also can like end up with like plus 15 kills and 184k. It's worth it. So this type of team can work for you if you're not planning to go for like a really like gambling style, right? But in general, yeah, I'm gonna go for exactly this team, hoping for the best. And yeah, after finally claiming back my first place, having like what 12-point lead, probably gain another 10-point now. I'm not really satisfied, but at least I didn't really fail hard. That BIG pick was a pure bait. Vitality like and Astralis picks ended up being positive, but with the huge questions, and in general, yeah, that's what I think. Thank you very much for the patience, and see ya.